Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's Internet of Things campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. Having your office in the pocket of your trousers or in your handbag is becoming the norm today. And while the technology enabling manufacturers to have a similar degree of connectivity with their factories through their mobiles is already widely available, many firms aren't reaping the full benefits of the technology. How can they make sure that the wealth of data they have on their operation doesn't get stale and is presented in an actionable format? With me in the studio are Tanya Rowney-Acho-Mitchell and Kari Terho from Elisa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What kind of inefficiencies does a lack of clear visibility cause in a factory today? Maybe you can give us some examples.
Yeah, I would like to highlight three things. So unplanned downtime in the factories, then unknown material waste, and unstable quality. Those three things are major challenges for manufacturing companies. Based on research, over 80% of the manufacturing companies are struggling with the unplanned stops on the production. So meaning that every time you have factory down, you lose money. So if you can take an example of factory providing or producing worth of 500 million euros. So if we can increase the uptime by 1%, it means 5 million more production capacity.
And when we look at industrial IoT or Internet of Things, there's very clear advantages of that. So what's in the way of big organizations and firms and factories actually implementing it? What do they have to do to be able to do that?
One of the things that we often see is the information gap between the top management and the shop floor operators. The shop floor operators, many times, they know what the problems and challenges are in the different stage of the production. However, the top management is not usually aware of them. And that's because they are getting the reports that are prepared for them. And in those reports, whatever had been a problem on the shop floor had been already fixed by then. A lot of times they just simply don't have the understanding of the underlying problems there. And there's actually an example of one of our customers who put it in a way that we know what the order intake is, we know what our stock availability is, and we even know what the raw material requirements are. But what we do not know is what's happening there in between, what's happening in real time in the production. And unless you have that real-time visibility into your production, you cannot leverage industrial IoT to its full benefits.
Now, I know one of the things you're using is this sort of smart factory where you're getting this sort of data and things. Tell us a little bit more about how that actually works so you are getting that real-time information.
What we do at Elisa Smart Factory, we are helping the customers to see what is happening right now, why something is happening, and what will happen. We connect all our customer data sources. We talk about SAP, ERP systems, MES systems, PLC, machine data, or even Excel spreadsheets. So we connect to all of the data sources, we get the real-time data, and based on that, we build something called 3D digital factory of their entire factory or of the production line. And that basically helps the customer to see that, how am I doing? How is my factory doing? Do I have the materials available? Am I on time? And if I'm not, why not? Are my machines working properly? If not, why not? And we can even automate this for them. So meaning they don't only just have to look at the display and see what's going on, but they can actually get real-time alerts, basically telling that what is going to happen and what do they need to do in case the production is not going as planned.
And if it's not going as planned, there's a lot of different ways you can give some feedback with this real-time data. But now translate that into the effects it's having on costs, the effects it's having on productivity for factories.
Yeah. So when we have the data and what we call that we kind of create a virtual data lake. So we don't copy all the data, but we are using the data. So we have an access to that data. And in cases where the machine doesn't generate any data, we can start to store that data as well. Then we start to use that data to creating different machine learning and artificial intelligent algorithms. Then we use that data to create algorithms to predict the failures, to understand where the bottlenecks are, where the waste is generated, why we have the quality variation. So we use continuously the real-time data. So it's, as it says, machine learning algorithms. So the algorithms will learn by themselves, so over the time. So the whole thing is that it's not one-time project, but we will create and deliver tools to our customers for continuous improvement. Analyzing the data, understanding that data, making decisions based on the data, and improving the operation, saving the cost, increasing the uptime, and so forth.
Let's say I'm a factory owner and I'm saying, I like the sound of this. There's some real benefits and some, real productivity gains here for me. How does a factory actually get started with Smart Factory? How does it actually work for those initial stages?
We are working in this kind of a 3-step approach. So what we first do with the customer, we are helping our customers to really identify maybe 1 or maximum 2 problems they want to solve, and also identify the KPIs to track the success with. And once those have been kind of identified, we can start. And what that means is then we go and we connect that data that they have. We create that real-time visibility for them, the automatic alarms and notifications. And this process takes about 12 weeks normally. So it's a very short-term project, very agile. We work together with the customer. We do not only deliver something after 12 weeks, but we actually engage the customer into that process. So they can validate as we go along, does it make sense for them? Is the direction the right way? Because one thing we do not want to do is deliver something that is not creating them the value. Now, after these 12 weeks, then the real fun part can start, meaning that then we can start applying this AI and machine learning algorithms and really drill down into the problems that they are having so that we can then increase the uptime and quality and as well as the yield.
Now, during this interview, we've talked a lot about the advantages of industrial IoT and how it's making such a big difference for the factories that are embracing it. For our audience watching this interview, what main takeaways would you like them to have to remember this interview by?
You need to have the visibility, the real-time visibility on the factory to understand what is happening right now. And then not only what is happening, why something is happening. When you have this data and you have this real-time data available and the visibility and the insight of your factory, you can start to create different type of prediction models. So you can have a predictive maintenance type of solutions, but you can also predict your production process flow. So you can understand better where you have possible bottlenecks, where is the waste generated. So any type of predictions. So then you are not only today's data, but you can see to the future and you can prevent things before they happen.
Well, you mentioned the future there, and there's no question that in the future this is something that's going to be around all factories. So for any factory that isn't embracing it yet, they probably better had soon because somebody else will be. It's been great finding out more, and we really appreciate you coming in. Kari Tero and Tanya Rauniaho from Elisa, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.